Hi guys, welcome to my channel Life in Literature. You're here with me, Purnima Navani. How are you? Actually, I really want to know how you are doing and how you're dealing with this crisis. It's very personal for every individual. We are all going through our personal struggles at home also. I know this is not an easy time. So, if you can, please comment down below and let me know what is the ground reality in whichever city, state, town you're from. We can all discuss this, right? The topic that we are going to discuss today is the hot topic of the season. I think it's going to be the hottest topic of the century, maybe. Tough times. But before we dwell into the history, politics, and geography of coronavirus, let me just have another Red Bull. Let's start with a little history of viruses and plagues. Uh, let's talk about the ones that I found very funny actually to start with because the names are funny. But the history is not. Trust me. It gets weird and weirder from here. Beware. Uh, the first sweat that the name sounded really funny, but the situation was not. It's called sweat plague, which originated in England in the year 1485. It lasted till 1551. Second was dancing plague, and this originated from a housewife. One fine day, apparently, she came out of the house and started dancing. Her husband found it really weird. Her husband later on said also that she was probably just lazy, and that is why she did this whole thing. And but this woman kept dancing and dancing and dancing, and soon other people started joining in, and people started dying. First in tens, and then in hundreds, and then as more people joined in. So this also was a virus. It was later realized, but we still don't know how it originated. Can you? So that was dancing plague for you. It took about 550 to 400 lives every day. After dancing plague, the uh, third plague that I found could be of interest to you was black plague. Do you know where the word quarantine comes from? It actually comes from Quaranta Day. Ships used to come and dock. And people realized this plague actually came through these ships. They realized that, and when they realized that, they started potting these people and asked them that you would have to stay in the outskirts of the city. You will have to pot there for first it was 30 days, then they increased it to 40 days, and so quaranta actually means 40, and that is where quarantine comes from. In general, it was seen that children and elderly were more susceptible to catching these viruses, and obviously the ones with weak immunity. Even at those times, the doctor at the most would suggest people that you please take a good diet, you please beware of where you're going, who you're interacting with, and the necessary precautions that doctors are giving us today when they don't know what to do with this virus. So the next one that we come to, that I think almost all of us have heard about, it took place during the year 1918. So the Spanish flu was first contracted by a cook in Kansas City in America in a military outpost. The virus first affected a cook. We yet don't know how exactly he got infected with it, but it is believed that hygiene is usually the reason for viruses. Yet so far, usually it was seen that the flu would affect elderly and children more, but Spanish flu was a little different. It targeted the young because those were the people who were around that area. The military camps were the first to get infested with this virus, and then they became the carriers, and they carried the virus to UK. From UK, it reached almost across the world. Other nations hid the reality by censoring news, so it didn't look so bad. Obviously, World War was going on. Nobody wanted that kind of media attention. We don't want it today also. Sorry, I need this. I'm on the SARS identified in 2003. Severe acute respiratory syndrome that is known as SARS. There are two strains of it. One is SARS-CoV, and the other one is being called SARS-CoV-2. SARS-CoV-2 and SARS-CoV. SARS-CoV first came out in 2003. The source, yet uncertain, is believed to be from bats that spread it to other animals, probably through civet cats. Uh, the first case was found in Guangdong. In case I'm not pronouncing this right, I'll put it somewhere in the video so that you know. In southern China in 2002. The epidemic affected 26 countries, resulting in 8,000 cases in 2003. Since then, few cases have been found. Spread like most viruses. It spreads like most viruses. It spreads like corona. So SARS-CoV, these type of viruses, they infect humans, bats, and certain other type of mammals. I'm sorry I'm reading from this. I don't want to get my facts wrong. There's otherwise no point to making this video, right? Okay, so pandemic, pan all. Demic comes from demos, people or population. Interesting fact. We know that SARS-CoV-2 has originated from China. We are hearing a lot about WHO and its involvement and what is happening. And in case you don't know, let me catch you up. WHO came out with a statement when other countries were getting worried with the death rate and the situation that was arising in China. But WHO came out with a statement stating that yes, there was a virus, but it was not a global situation. It was not a global threat. It was not a pandemic. And apparently, China sat on some information for over 2 weeks. That is what Donald Trump is claiming. I don't know what is true, what is not. Again, please don't hate. The point is that if that is true, that has really cost many lives. We could have, forewarned is forearmed. We could have been better prepared, maybe. We could have saved at least one life. Even that one life matters, right? First of all, I'm very sorry for uploading this video so late. The only reason is that I didn't want to put out half the information there, and I wanted to tell you what is the purpose behind me even putting this video out. The purpose behind this video is that I want to talk to you about what we can do in this situation. I see that people have half information and then it gets spread and it creates panic, and that situation of panic is really something that we need to avoid at all cost right now, please. So I wanted to do something to make sure that there is information compiled in one place, but at the same time I also wanted to make sure that I tell you what I am doing personally to deal with the situation. Coronavirus time has been really fruitful for me, honestly. So I'm an author. Obviously authors like their privacy, they like their space. I am no different. What I did differently during this time, in fact, I was suffering a little bit before coronavirus started, and I was traveling too much, I was working, I've taken up a lot of projects, and I was not able to streamline myself to give my 100% to each of the projects. And that was mentally affecting me. That was starting to take a toll on my mental health. And before going to sleep, I would, for 1, 2, 3 hours, I would keep thinking, where am I going wrong? Why am I not able to concentrate? These are my goals. I see them. How am I not able to achieve them? I keep telling everyone that I know that happiness is a state of mind, right? You can't want to be happy. You have to be happy. If you want to be happy, you have to find ways to become happy. You have to find ways to connect with yourself so that you find peace within yourself. Trust me, the minute you find peace in the surroundings that you're in, no matter how difficult, you will be able to fight your battles better. I cannot put this better. So just stay positive, be kind to one another. I keep saying this, I think I've said this in previous 2 videos as well, but please be kind to one another. These are very tough times. Don't get into competition with one another. it is very important that we understand that in times like these, we are talking about economy crashing, we are talking about people is getting bored sitting indoors, wanting to go out, meeting friends. Can you remember just 6 months ago we were all complaining that I don't get enough time to spend at home. We spend our whole lives working in offices. We spend all our lives working hard for exactly this, right? For our house, to provide for our families. If you are in a situation where you are not monetarily impaired or where you are not in a difficult situation financially, please at all cost avoid going out. So now coronavirus, where are we? Where are we and what is the situation? When is it going to get over? When are we going to be able to get out of our house? I want to go to a restaurant, I want to go trekking. Every one of us, each one of us is feeling like we've been jailed, right? No, this is for our protection that we have been asked to stay indoors. It is not for our Prime Minister ji, it is not for any political party, it is not for the doctors. It is us staying at home is in fact affecting the economy. Our government should be telling us, so what? Like we are saying, a lot of people are saying that herd immunity is our best bet. Do you understand what is the meaning of herd immunity? It means that everybody who's not immune, you're saying let them be killed. When you go out, you're making sure that another person is also forced to come out. If you work in a company, tell your bosses wherever you can, try and work from home. Going out means taking a fatal risk, which I would not recommend. I really wouldn't. Where is our research at? China has already started the human trials. India with Bharat Serum and Oxford is also in the race to make the vaccine very fast. There are other companies also who are in second phase of trial. The trial usually goes in 3 phases. The first phase is where they do testing on animals, mammals, which we in India are currently doing. We are waiting for the results, I think. Or the results have come and we're waiting for the permission for the second phase. You will have to, in the links that I've mentioned below, all this information is there. Please go and refer to the links. If I've made some mistake, it is unknowingly, I'm very sorry. The only purpose behind making this vlog is that I want everyone that I know and I don't know to be safe, because this is a disease that gets into your house. It doesn't just get into your body. Every adversity is an opportunity to do better in life. Use this opportunity. I'm trying my best. Even if I fail in whatever I'm doing, doesn't matter. But at least I'm trying. Try. That trying is very important. Before I go, I want to give you 5 tips that I follow to stay healthy and safe. Self-isolation, most important, obviously. Don't step out of the house is my mantra these days. Second is stay clean and hygienic. Third is work on building good health and immunity. If you're healthy, if your diet is good, if you're taking care of yourself, not just coronaviruses, you can protect yourself. Not just coronavirus, you can protect yourself from other viruses and other diseases too. So work on your immunity. I have recently adopted a vegan diet. It's really working out well for me. I don't suggest everyone go for a vegan diet, but eating a lot of vegetables, eating a lot of fruits is always helpful. Just eat healthy, and make sure in your food you're getting all the vitamins, all the minerals that are required for your body growth. Do a general Google research and you will find what is required for the body. Find a source of happiness at this time. If you can, find a source of happiness at this time if you can. Whether it's learning, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's a sport, whether it's anything that interests you, follow that. Whatever makes you happy, do that. Don't punish yourself at this time. fourth advice would be to find a source of learning. And by learning, I don't mean you have to learn maths and science again. Though, if you do, it's not such a bad thing. Quantum physics is brilliant. And if you're especially religious, I am sure you will find God in quantum physics. But other than that, just learn something, learn to cook, learn to weave, learn to sew your own clothes, anything that takes your mind off the idea of I want to go out, I want to go out. Going out is not an option. And the fifth and most important, crucial thing to do at this time is to not complain. We are complaining for what? We are with our families, right? Help those who actually have reasons to complain. There are people who don't have food in their house. There are people who are suffering because they were daily wage workers, laborers, migrants who are still, some are here, some are there. They don't know where tomorrow their bread is going to come from. These are the ones who should be complaining, not us. If you have a roof over your head, if you have food in your house, if you can manage for next 6 months, then just protect your life. हिंदी में कहावत है, सर सलामत तो पगड़ी है सर. I really believe that. Please take care. Please, please, please take care. Stay safe, stay indoors as much as possible. I know it is not possible to stay indoors all the time, but stay indoors as much as possible. Take care of yourself. Have fun. Keep smiling. Bye.